Hey, good morning. This is Adam Bailey from Select Homes. As promised, told you guys I would do a voiceover of the slides that I presented at Boomtown Unite 14 on operating an ISA model before I jet tomorrow to the Exponential Growth Summit hosted by Kendra Reese in Dallas. So if you guys are going to be there, look me up, hit me up, let's connect. Every day I'm hustling. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Who is Adam Bailey and Mike Gerbic? Mike Gerbic's the owner of Select Homes. I'm our sales and operations partner. Yes, we sold 853 homes in 2013, landed us in 10th place in the Wall Street Journal for transactions. It's going to be close in 2014 if we close 1,000 units. Only time will tell. I'll let you guys know. Why an inside sales agent or associate? Simply put, better lead conversion, because you do want a higher return on your investment as a rainmaker. You need somebody intentional, focusing on IPAs. And no, I'm not talking about beer. I'm talking about income producing activities, dollar producing activities. And you need to have somebody focused on your conversion day in and day out, because can you wholeheartedly say that your agents are responding to them in a timely manner and practicing long-term database management? Probably not. You want your agents out sealing deals, inking contracts. 4-no theories. 92% of salespeople quit asking after all 4 no's. Now, 60% of prospects say no 4 times before they say yes. Let me repeat that. 60% of prospects say no 4 times before they say yes. So where is the money at? 8% of the ISAs, or the agents who have the courage to ask more than 4 times, are getting 60% of the sales. That is where the moolah is at, and that's where the conversion is going to happen for your inside sales associates if the agents aren't practicing the no-4 theory. There's 3 types of lead management models: agent only, ISA/agent hybrid. Agent only with a round robin works, but if you're generating leads on a massive scale, there's no way that they could keep up with all of these leads on top of the showings, closings, the paperwork, whatever it may be. I like the ISA only model in theory, not in practice, because you're only going to actually convert as well as that ISA can convert. So whatever their skill set is, that's going to be the return on your investment. Now, I like the ISA/agent hybrid model. It's a 1-2 punch. So the leads are going to the agents in a round robin model, and then we're running all of our data through our call center. So it's like our safety net. And everybody's on the same page, and all of the notes are optimized, and we really can be proactive with our quad scripting. Whether we're taking the role of playing the assistant to the agent, or we're customizing the account, or we're proactive with setting buyer appointments, listing appointments, getting them pre-approved, whatever it may be. And that model right there is going to net you the highest return on your investment. When to transition into this ISA model? Bluntly put, if you're not converting at 3% period as a whole, you're going to need somebody that's deliberate and focused on getting that number anywhere between 4 to 7%. If your follow-ups are not happening, because we all know this is long-term database management, incubation, we have to cultivate these leads, you have to build long-term relationships, and in most cases, your agents are only focusing on where their paycheck is going to come from in the next 60 to 90 days. Now, start getting past 4, 5, 6 months, they could care less. So you need somebody building trust, positioning, demonstrating leadership with your database, answering these tedious questions that will net sales, not just this year, but also next year. And I just gave an example of a lead that we had closed that we had been incubating, working with for over 2 years, and they finally popped, and the money came to the bottom line. If you're generating more than 2 leads per day for your agents, they're going to need a safety net, because that database is going to grow to 5, 6, 7, 800 leads, and there's no way that they're going to be able to efficiently follow up with their database. Yes, they can stay caught up with the new leads. Hey, are you in the market to buy or sell a home? Whoop-de-doo. But the money is in the B and C buyers, not the A buyers. How many hours of calling is necessary for a database? And I will chop it up to 1 hour of prospecting for every 50 active leads you have. So an example, if you have 100 leads, you're going to need to be hand dialing for at least 2 hours a day. Okay, but if you're leveraging an auto dialer, you can cut that time in half and you can expect to get 5 to 7 contacts per hour with the auto dialer. Pick your poison. There's a lot of different options out there. Best fit to hire an ISA, I'll give an example of the expert ISAs that work in our call center. Our lead ISA used to be a mortgage loan officer. Also, we have a college recruiter that converts like a monster. Insurance sales, people that's been proactive with cold calling on businesses, business-to-business sales, or with direct policies. But in any case, you're just looking for anybody with outbound telephone sales that feels comfortable not just taking orders, but influencing people to move off the fence and why they should do business with your agents. And you need somebody that can articulate that and deliver the value and have the confidence to get that person to believe in you, your brand. So where do you find these expert ISAs or these pros at? I will tell you, Craigslist ads has been great for us. We just post them every few days. But Facebook ads, but not just Facebook ads, but Facebook. As you guys know, I tag a lot of the people I work with. They do the same thing. We tag everybody. It's a vibrant culture. It's thriving. We're glowing. People want to come to work every day. They want to come to the meetings. And so they're telling their friends, they're telling their coworkers, they're even telling the competition at closings what we have going on. So it makes referrals easy for us. People are knocking on our doors. And especially when you're 10th in the nation in transactions and you're leading your market and you're open with our culture and what we have going on. People just want to work in that environment. So facilitate an environment where people want to come to meetings, where they want to work, and they'll tell other people, and it will make recruiting effortless. Who is a good fit? If you don't understand disc profiling, you might want to do some research on it. We profile all of our employees. Every single employee takes a disc profiling test. You need the right person sitting on the right seat on the bus. You need the right person sitting on the right seat of on the bus. You could have the right person in your business, but just have them in the wrong seat, and it's gonna throw your whole operations off. Now, zeroing in on a good fit for an ISA, what I have found and the profile that I like is a DI and an ID. Those are the two disc profiles that I'm looking for when I'm recruiting. Those are the rock stars that are currently in our call center. Compensation options, we're going to keep it simple. Option 1, base and bonus. That's exactly what how we attack it. We pay a base with the bonus, not per set appointments, but confirmed quality appointments. It's a pre-approved buyer or it's a pre-approved listing appointment. When I'm talking about pre-approved, I mean we've already extracted their social security number or checked out with their lender and confirm that they're pre-approved. Now, you could go commission only, but that's low risk. The quality of person that you're going to have in that position is probably less than somebody you could get with a guaranteed income, and you're going to have turnover. Okay, and then also there's going to be friction between the ISA and the agent because the agent's going to say that the ISA is setting bad appointments, and then the agent, if they're not converting, the ISA is going to say that the agent is not doing their job and they don't know how to convert these leads, and it just creates friction. Okay, so attack number 1, but I would say figure out what works for your market, because your average price range, cost of living, all that stuff needs to come into the equation, but keep it simple and keep it simple for tracking. So what's the goal of an ISA? When they're prospecting, they're proactive, they're intentional, and we run our call center from 8 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. You just do not have to be good or great. You just have to have somebody available. We're looking to set listing appointments, and I'm talking about quality listing appointments where we go through and ask them about 20 questions to really filter and extract all of the information about the home to get their market analysis started so that agent can go out there in a one-step close. Number 2, we're looking to set pre-approved buyer appointments. And I'm talking about buyer appointments that have their pre-approved letter in hand, or they're pre-approved with our in-house lender, and we're setting it on the agent's calendar. And that's why we have a 78% show-up rate and confirmed rate, is because we've been working with these people for a year, 2 years, and built trust. And I'm talking about absolute trust, where they know who's helping them. They know who's been answering their questions. They know who's been doing the work up front. So they're committed to us. We've been customizing their accounts, building rapport. Follow-up is king, but we're just not following up with these people to convert them. We're following up to add value in terms of even we have live chat. Not everybody wants a phone call with a follow-up. So they can come to our website, we can live chat, we can add value. For an example, do you know your credit score by chance? We'll let you know that for free. Do you know your debt to income ratio? We'll do research for you. We want to be your resource center, okay? You don't have to be good or great, just make sure somebody's available. So nights and weekends, ISA handoff. Not so much at nights, because we're able to put them off and let them know that you're working with the top team. Our agent's calendar stay booked up. Plus, the seller needs a 24-hour notice to get you into the house. So it's pretty simple during the weekdays at night for us to position ourselves, get them pre-approved, buy a little bit of time before we can set a quality appointment for the seller and the actual agent that's going to work with them. But on the weekend, instant gratification is the world that we live in. So you're going to have to gamble, but when is the gamble worth it, right? When is it worth the gamble? The price point has to matter. So we have a certain price point where I like my ISA and the agent to be able to gamble. But first, we ask them a series of qualifying questions on the weekend if we can't confirm that they're pre-approved. And then it's up to the agent if they want to approve to run and gun and leave their family and drop what they have going on to work with an unqualified buyer on the weekend. And then we follow up with them, that Monday to confirm if they can get pre-approved or not pre-approved, and then that will dictate if I actually pay on that appointment or not. Tracking, track or die. How can you improve what you do not measure? And so tracking is an absolute must. But before we get into tracking, let's go ahead and talk about the time thieves, the time vampires, because there's a lot of processing that happens in our call center. We prospect from 3 different shifts. First shift is from 8 to 3, and then I have a 10 to 5, and then I have a 1 to 9. Okay, so in theory and in practice, they prospect for 3 hours, they take an hour lunch, they come back, hit it hard for another 3 hours, they clock out and they're done. Okay, but what happens when you get into, you have to extract all of this information out of websites and run it through a call center. So you have to have somebody focused on database management. Somebody has to always be focused on your new leads, your follow-ups, your different filters, because whoever has the best database management practice is usually going to win. And so you guys really need to do research outside of the real estate industry on database management, lead management, sales funnels and filters, tagging to really net the highest return on your investment. Also, blah, 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 live conversations. It usually takes from beginning to an end, usually 12 to 15 minutes to extract a social security number, a full pre-approval attempt, set up a buyer appointment, listing appointment. So if that conversation's going past 10 minutes and I don't feel like they're going to actually convert, especially with your I personalities, if you go back to disc profiling, they're talkers. So you're going to need to be able to manage blah, blah, blah and make sure they're efficient with setting a to-do with that person, cutting the conversation a little short, and moving on to the next call. So you have to manage online chat and make sure that these people, they respect us as a resource center, but also we have to be swift and we answer a few questions and attempt to squeeze them onto a phone conversation. We just don't want people just chatting with us all day long, even if they're still a year out. We want to deliver value, answer questions, and move on, or squeeze them to a phone call. And you have to manage your admin prospecting duties, because all this stuff I'm talking about today, guys, is outbound. None of this stuff is inbound. Outbound administrative duties. So if they have to fill out a buyer consultation form, a listing questionnaire, a pre-approval attempt, Like I said, database management. They're setting the content and appointments on the agent's calendar. They're mirroring it on their calendar. They're sending out the emails. They're copying their lead ISA for tracking, and they're putting it in the master tracker. They're having to log calls, okay? Maybe they have to use the restroom, and so you have to make sure that your processing duties are swift and easy, because as your operations grow, your call center grows, this is going to be a hurdle, and you're going to have to manage your time vampires, simply because it's taking away from them being on the phone and smiling and dialing and moving on to that next appointment. So manage your duty times, processing times, to get these people back on the phone as quick as possible. ISA accountability metrics. Here's what we track: start and stop dialing times. That kind of just correlates with what I was talking about. I want to track how many minutes they're on the phone, so they could be logging their calls 4 or 5 times a day. Whether they set an appointment, they have to get off the phone to process, or if they're going to lunch, whatever it may be. And we track the dials, the contacts, the valid conversations, how many pre-approval attempts that we actually take, because we turn down 50 to 60 people that we attempt to get pre-approved. Just the nature of the beast. Then you get into data or credit counseling, database management, and you have to follow up with those people and make sure that the lender has coached them on the actions that they need to take to become a real live buyer. Listing appointments, buyer appointments, and total appointments. Here's an example of our call log. Yes, I know it says 2013, but this is just a running call log. So you can see start time, stop time, duration, dials, connects, valid conversations, pre-approval attempts, and this is how it's going to populate on the front end. But before we get into our yearly numbers, this is an accountability of just a monthly snapshot. This month we dialed 9,500 dials. We dial anywhere between 9,000 to 12,000 people a month. In this particular month, which was last month, we talked with almost 1,300 valid leads. And then we set 111 appointments. 57 of them was listing appointments. 54 of them was buyer appointments. Year to date, we break it down even into quarters. Here's a yearly snapshot. So we've dialed a little over 88,000 dials. 88,000 dials. Now that's moving and grooving. We talked to a little over 10,000 valid conversations, and we've set 961 appointments. So for every for every 10, 11 conversations that we are having in the call center, we're setting a qualified listing or buyer appointment. My best ISA converts at a little over 9 conversations to an appointment. Okay, this goes back to you need to be able to track what's going on. So every day I'm looking at these numbers. We're huddling. We're figuring out where a call, if an ISA's call volume is dropped, we're figuring out why and making sure that our labor is best spent dialing and looking for that next connect. Because as I can speed up valid conversations, I'm going to expedite our appointments for our agents. So 961 appointments set. We have confirmed that 749 of them showed up. So set appointment to confirmed ratio is 78%, and this is phenomenal, guys. And this is a 70-30 game. So if you could get up around 70%, 60%, that's winning. Okay, 70-30 is where it's at. 70% show up, 30% you're just gonna have a no-show, bad quality ratio, whatever it may be. Working and networking with other teams and then other top expert coaches across the industry and tapping into their results. People are lucky if they're having 40 to 50% show up. Okay, that is not good if you're setting something on a weekend or at night for your ISAs and it's a no-show or it's bad quality. You're just wasting the agent's time. Now, there's a lack of leadership in real estate, and everybody's like, well, are you ready to get pre-approved or whatever, and just call this lender, or I'll have them call you. And it's like, okay, so you're passing on information to a lender to follow up with this person, or you're expecting the lead to call the lender, and so you're following up with the lead. Did you get a hold of the lender yet? Because he said he called 5 times and you haven't answered, and the lead's like unmotivated, dragging their feet. Well, yeah, I want to get to it. It just I just have life in the way or whatever. So the sense of urgency is not there. And so it's up to the agent to position themselves, demonstrate leadership. And if you're willing and able and capable, extract a social security number, where they work, how much money they make, what their current address is, if they're paying rent, and fill out a pre-qualification form. Get over to the lender, and then I guarantee that they will answer when that lender calls. They'll answer when the ISA calls. They'll answer when the agent calls, because it's intimate. They're committed. Okay, they gave you their social security number. And so that's the best way to stay efficient and make sure that you're getting your ISAs on to the next call, instead of following up with a client, following up with the lender, and just wasting a bunch of patty cake time that doesn't make sense for your business. But it does take a skill set. You do have to have an ISA that can come from a place of certainty and have confidence and deliver to the lender, and then the lender just confirms. And I promise you, your confirmation ratio with buyers will skyrocket. And if you're pre-qualifying your listing appointments for your agents and practicing long-term database management with sellers, I promise you, you can get to 70%. Just do it. So agent accountability, we do hold our agents accountable just like we do our ISAs. We track leads, appointments, signed agencies, off-signed agencies, what pended off that, what closed, and we make sure you have a living, breathing conversion number. They're the triple tracker, daily activity report. Review a list of the ISA set appointments, and you have to give us feedback. Is it closed? Is it dead? Is it a B, a C buyer? Are you still working them? Reviewing the pipeline, making sure you understand where your business is coming from in the next 60 to 90 days. What I pride myself on is culture and mindset and coaching. Like I said, there's a lack of leadership in this industry, and a lot of people want to sell a few homes and take a few days off. That's not the way that we operate. We all show up every day. We participate in our culture. We have a get it done right the first time mentality. We learn together. We think together. We create together, and that's the culture and the mindset that you have to have with your people. Here's one of our lead buyer agents. This dude runs a very predictable business. As you can see, he converts internet leads anywhere between 4 to 6%. This dude is cashing in, and he has a life, and he's producing at a high level. It takes me about 90 days to get an ISA up and running with the nuances of technology, scripts, dialogue, just the operations side of our business. And also with new agents, it takes about 90 days to get them converting over 3%, 4%. So this is an example of a new agent came into our business, and right around that 90-day mark, she started really hitting it and converting over 4%. So that's what you can expect with your ISAs, because most people are looking to just recruit a new buyer's agent, a new ISA. They just want to throw them on the phone, give them some basic whoop-de-doo training, and then they're hands off, and they just think these people are going to skyrocket and start converting and throwing up numbers. And with an ISA, if you're not committed to it, and you're not committed to your own skill set so you can transfer knowledge to them, you're going to fail. And you're going to be like, the ISA system don't work. It's costs too much money. But you need to look in the mirror, and you need to be accountable to yourself, and you need to make sure you're educated and you're ready to take on an ISA, because your business could need something else. You can need an administrative assistant. You can need just some other role to fill a hole within your business. And a lot of people think that they can buy their way to success with the ISA model, and it's untrue. It takes hard work, grit, hustle, training, education, blood, sweat, and tears to net these results. I promise you, I've been through it. We're doing it currently. We still have our own growing pains. You also need to be able to track their daily activity reports to hold the agents accountable with the ISA leads, or just the leads that you're giving them in general. And here's a breakdown of all of the activities and algorithms that we track to hold them accountable. This is an example of my stats when I was running out in the field. So every 8-9 people I spoke with, I set up a qualified appointment. I had about a 70% show up ratio, because out of 10 appointments that I set, I can expect 3 of them are not going to show up. And I'm not going to pout about it. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm going to spend that time when that person didn't show up to hopefully talk to 8 or 9 more people to set another appointment. Get it done. Lead to close, I was converting internet leads about 5, almost 6%, 5.7 is what I convert internet leads at. And I was doing this part-time, yes, part-time, and I was selling 2 homes a week because I was leveraging a showing partner, and I was paying my showing partner hourly or splitting a small percent of my business with them. And I was able to build the call center, and keep our culture intact. And at night, I was at home with my wife. On the weekends, I was out with my friends. I was with my wife. And then I just had to make sure that I was by a computer to type up a digital contract, tag it with digital signatures, consult with the buyer, the showing partner, to be able to submit offers and negotiate deals and seal the deal. So you do need to be leveraging a showing partner. If it's something you're interested in, please hit me up. I'll give you a little more clarity on it. The key to ISA and agent relationship is you need a leader in place. Your agents can't hold your ISAs accountable, and your ISAs can't hold the agents accountable. There's going to be friction. They're going to be arguing, like I had mentioned earlier. So you need somebody that tracks ISA metrics, agent metrics, and can logically break down both of their businesses. So it's not emotional day to day. You guys are running a logical buyer business, a logical listing business, and I promise your culture will respect you for it if you're demonstrating leadership and you have people leading ISAs and agents. And yes, we do have a lead listing agent. Yes, we do have a lead buyer agent. Yes, we do have a lead ISA. Yes, we do have all these leaders in place, and so structure is important. So here's an example of let's just focus on August. We went on 147 listing appointments. We took 60 of them. We sold 44. Buyer appointments, 129. We went on and we sold 55 buyers in August. 2014 year to date, for the first 3 quarters, we've sold 709 homes. 709 homes. Congratulations to our team. They're rocking it. We run a 45% listing business, 55% buyer business. So we are definitely moving and grooving. Like I said, only 20 agents and 4 ISAs is where we're at. So just do it. One of the things that I do is really help people explode and expand their business. So if I could honestly show you how to set 20 to 30 pre-approved appointments per week, week in and week out without fail, let me know if that'd be worth a few minutes of your time. Love to chat with you guys. Love to catch up with you guys. Here's my phone number. Text me, email me, whatever it may be. Just do it.